Everybody knows that high school recruiting is one of the biggest businesses in the country. And today was National Signing Day, where top recruits sign up for the team that they believe that could get them to the next level. And we discussed that today on this edition of Homage Speaks. First of all, I would like to thank y'all for tuning in, but let's get right to it. Some of you may know D Burst back in the day. Homage was due, all-state running back for the Douglas County Tigers, one of the top players in the state of Georgia. So that arguably could have made me one of the top players in the country. With that being said, National Signing Day is important, but there's a lot of steps that you have to take in order to get to National Signing Day. National Signing Day is a cruise, and that's selected where they're going. Put the hat on the paper, sign their letter of intent, and say that I'm coming to this university. This is a big day. This is when Nick Saban comes to your house and do the cha-cha slide or do the electric shot, and he wins over your family and tells you that you got a great future here in this program. If you're willing to work hard, put in the work, you can get on the field and you can make it to the NFL. Because unfortunately, people don't understand that that's everybody's dream, that's everybody's fantasy, but it takes a small percentage. 1% of the people who make it to the NFL, it's hard to get there. I have a two-time All-Pro cousin known as the M Train, known as the Toll Dozer. We all played together. We understood that out of all the talented players that we had, from MT, D Nation, Ricky, Armand, Dwayne Carter, Deontay Carter, myself, Doria Martin, Tony Lovelace, Scoop Dog, Paris, Eddie, J Dub, Narada. We had a lot of talented players on our roster, but everybody's not going to be able to go to the school that best suits them. I have a funny story. My cousin, the All-Pro, he really wanted to go to Georgia Tech. I know it. Me and him used to have several conversations about it. He really wanted to go to Georgia Tech. He could get in there academically, but they just weren't looking at him the way they should be. And Coach Dexter Reese, our red ball coach and lifelong family friend, he took Mike to Coastal and introduced him to the Coastal staff, and he got a part of the Coastal family. And that feeling just felt right for the train. And the M Train went to that school, and the rest was history. National Signing Day is the first decision that the young man make on his own, basically. That's his first life decision. You get to choose your wife, and you get to choose where you want to go play football at. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't understand the magnitude of this decision. I'm, for one, I just graduated from college last December. It took me 10 years to bounce back from that one bad decision. So with that being said, you gotta understand that there's a lot of thought process going into it. And I know everybody right now is in outrage over James Copeland mom getting up from the table, and rightfully so, as a father and as a former athlete. I'm very disappointed. Somebody who actually didn't sign on National Signing Day, but I did have full support of my family when I did sign. I understand the frustration of that kid and how he was upset. That was embarrassing. But let's go a little deeper. That happens a lot. That is not the first time that has happened. But it was just on national television and people was able to see it. The recruiting game is big, it's dangerous. It's a lot of things that go into it to get your son to that school. They're not only investing in your son's athleticism and his education, but they investing in their program. They reload every year. I believe the Florida Gators program is a good program to where he can grow and mature into a great player, simply because the Florida Gators is rebuilding, and he can be a part of the rebuilding process. If you go to Alabama, you got to be a part of the reload. Yes, he's one of the top 5 receivers in the country, but guess what? Alabama is going to have the top 5 receiver in the country come in there next season. And if he's not special enough, dynamic enough, which I think this kid can play the game, they compare him to a Percival Harvin type, and everybody knows I love Percival Harvin, just one of the most dynamic players we've seen. If he does not have a headache, he's giving you the work. But make no mistake about it, what she did was disrespectful. And, if y'all want to go a step deeper, she's supposed to support her son. That young black man is finna go do great things. He's finna walk away with opportunity of a lifetime to get a degree from the University of Florida to where that's going to help him work and get good jobs and be able to provide for his family for the rest of his life. Let alone if he go out there and perform on the football field, he'll be able to really provide for the rest of his family and get it in and make millions of dollars playing a game that he loves to play. But make no mistake about it, when you go to Florida, son, you made the best decision for you, but now you got to manifest that decision fully. You got to go in there and work harder than you ever worked. You got more motivation now. Your mom didn't even believe in you going to Florida. Now you show her on and make sure when you get that first check, son, you buy whatever she wants. And make sure she never forgets how she treated you when you made that decision. Now it's time for everybody who don't believe in you, you make them believe in that. You get them on the Copeland train and say, I'm the conductor, and y'all, let's go, we ready to ride. But I'm trying to tell y'all, man, for those who don't know and don't understand, National Recruiting Day, being in the recruiting process has changed tremendously. The junior year is no longer as important as the senior year because now, starting in April, kids can start going on their official visits. Now, when I was in high school many moons ago playing the game, I couldn't do that till my senior year. You're trying to tell me right now, as a junior, what if I'm not playing basketball or I'm in track? I can actually go on an official visit to a school and get shown all the facilities, get to stay overnight, get to see the scenery, get to party, get to hang out, get to see if I really love the environment that the school provides. As a junior going into my senior year, wow, that's nothing short of amazing, and that's also a game changer. Nobody could imagine that. I just learned that. Shout out to my man Maceo Hurd Jr. for putting me on game. I did not know that the game of recruiting had changed to that magnitude. That is huge, people. We can actually say I can target this guy in the 9th and 10th grade, and I could go talk to him as a junior directly. You used to couldn't do that. You used to have to wait till I believe it was July 1st to actually have conversation with these guys as seniors, but now we can work on them as early as the 10th grade. Like we really can work on them. That's nothing short of amazing. But now that National Signing Day is over, it's time for the kids who didn't sign on National Signing Day. It's too many college universities, too many scholarships out there for you not to put your name on one of them if you desire to play football. Your next step is to decide what school fits you and benefits you the best as a player, as a person, to where you can grow as a man and earn an education while playing football. That's the main thing. If you go to a school just to play football, such as I did, and it doesn't work out in that capacity, you're gonna find yourself trying to find more. Look at Alvin Kamara, man. The situation worked out beautifully for him. He was one of the top recruits in the country. He ended up at Alabama, couldn't get no time. Go to Tennessee, still couldn't get no time. Talented player, believed in himself, believed in his ability. The New Orleans Saints saw the diamond in the rough, and they shined it out and buffed it out, and boom, Alvin Kamara's on the scene. And everybody's looking like, who's Alvin Kamara? And Alvin Kamara, like, man, this is what I do. But again, he made good decisions. We made a bad decision, turned good by transferring out of there. Nick Saban, I commend Nick Saban on being one of the coaches who does not make the transfer process difficult for you. He actually uses it to his benefit because he has no problem telling a player that he has on scholarship, hey man, you're not gonna make it in my program. You're not gonna hold on. You're not gonna be able to do what's necessary in order for us to succeed in a program. So, hey, let me get that scholarship up off you, and wherever you want to go, I'm gonna actually make sure that I help you do my best to get there. As far as the true reasons goes, one of the reasons that she said that she was upset that he elected the state of Florida because she's scared of the gang activities in the Florida community, and we all know that. I think Gainesville, Florida, is one of the most suburban towns in the state of Florida, and him going to the Florida Gators program, I'm pretty sure that the coaches and everything should be aware of that, and they should do their best on keeping him out of that environment. I also believe for the fact that he's going to a D1 program, that is a game within itself. You become part of the football family, and you're going to be amongst people who are trying to do everything that you're trying to do as well. Make no mistake about it, his mom could have been upset for a number of reasons. That could very well be one, but I still think that it's time to support the son because they knew that going in. If that was such a big concern and that was such a big focus, that hat wouldn't even been on that table. That's just my personal opinion. And as a parent, it looked like he had a strong, supportive family behind him. And I'm willing to put it on them line that if that was one of the causes of concern, that hat wouldn't have been on that table. So from that being said, I know it's going to be some more coming out about that, but I am one to disagree with that being the sole reason. I'm not even totally sure that she was Roll Tide Nation because she had a Tennessee hat on, she had a Roll Tide shirt on. So I'm not sure was that the reason why she was upset or disappointed in the decision. But if her reasoning for um, being upset with him because he elected to go to the Florida Gators because of she wanted him to remove himself from the gang activity, then I believe that she has a reason to be upset. This is not the first time that this has happened on this national stage. The NFL All-Pro Landon Collins' mother did the exact same thing. But at the same time, this is a business, this is a big-time game, and hopefully the young man can stay out of trouble, prove his mom right, because I still think he made the best decision for him and where he can be comfortable and thrive in the new regime of the Florida Gators. The Georgia Bulldogs finished #1 in recruiting, no different than what they've done in the past. Finished top 5, but now being #1, it is time for those guys to cash in. Kirby Smart, you cannot continue to be like Mark Richt. Your job is to change everything. Your job is to change everything and to get it to the point to where you have to win. There's no point in having the #1 recruiting class in the country and don't win. One thing I can tell you about our beloved Nick Saban, he get the horses and he ride them. Urban Meyer get the horses and he ride them. He knows how to get the wins when he get the horses. Kirby Smart, that's your next step as a Georgia Bulldog coach to take the program from being good to great and manifest us into champions. That's your goal. That's your focus. But as far as this recruiting game is, today we witnessed the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's just hope that from the standpoint of his mom, we don't know what kind of struggles that she had to go through to raise this young man, for him to have this tremendous opportunity. She could be very well upset at the fact that she don't want the gang activity to follow him from where he is now to the University of Florida. I hope that the University of Florida is very aware of this. The teammates are very aware of this and create an environment to where they are his gang per se. They are his family, which I think is going to happen for the young man, and I hope that's what happens for him. But going forward, I need everybody who has sons, who have daughters, who will be entering the recruiting process. Please do your homework. Please do your due diligence, because that's one of the biggest businesses in the world right now, and that's high school recruiting of these athletes. Parents have to be just as educated as the kids because it's a big game. These schools are making money off your kids' performance. So with that being said, don't look for the handouts. Don't look for the what can you do for me's. No, your objective is to make the right decision. To make the right decision in order to make the right decision for the child, for the young man or the young woman. It's about them becoming better people and having the ability to play sports while doing so. That's the #1 objective with student athletes first. Can we get the education first? And then can we play ball second? Play a ball and get a degree is beautiful. And one thing Kirby Smart do have to address going forward, if he want to still really be a legendary coach in the history of Georgia football, outside of winning championships, that graduation rate of football players need to improve. It is one of the worst in the country. No, it makes no sense for us to have top talent and these kids are not going pro and other things besides football. And with that being said, this marks another edition of Hammond Speaks.